Tiff is asking a question. Do you guys think artists are obligated to speak on current events? The Coles and Kendricks who are considered woke, or do we make them leaders when they're just thinkers who share their thoughts? It's a great question. While you're thinking about that, I got one more comment here from Sean. He said, every artist has a voice. They should say something no matter what. Even they get to hate it for as long as it has a positive... Even they get hate for it, sorry, as long as it has a positive outcome. Keep speaking. So maybe I'll say, I feel like anybody with a platform in a time where our brothers and sisters, we're all human, are dying. If we don't use that platform for good, we're using our fucking social media agency, our craft beer podcast, our hip hop podcast. Like every single thing we're speaking about social justice is almost every day to the point. No one's told us not to, but I feel obligated, and we are, in the scheme of things, we have a tiny platform. People like Cole, like Tiffany, there's a different, and I think that's what Tiffany said was very different. There's a difference between a thinker and a leader. I think Kendrick and Cole are definitely, for sure, thinkers. They have leadership qualities, being like you mentioned, Johnny, that Cole was in the streets. He's been in the streets since Ferguson, out there with the people, never wears a watch or any jewelry, just wearing a t-shirt, some shorts and shit, fucked up dreads. He's out here and being one with them and talking to people and shaking their hands and looking them in the eye, and that's real. He's just a man of the people. So you can't expect him. I don't think you can. I think it's cool to hear the voice of the thinkers, but you don't have to expect them to lead. And I personally would like to hear from everybody, regardless of whether you're a business, you're an artist, whoever you are. But I feel like you don't have to be obligated to lead in any shape or form. But I feel like you should at least at the very least, put out a message of solidarity.
Yeah, I think that's what I'm saying.
That's
too. Like you should. I mean, I think you should put out a message of solidarity. But really speaking, it really isn't for everybody, because it's not everybody who's like Dave Chappelle who can go up there and synthesize exactly what's going on right now. And like,
it's true.
You know what I mean? Like, and if you ask me about Chappelle, Chappelle is a rapper, man. Like he doesn't rhyme, but he's a rapper. Like he speaks, right?
Yeah.
And that's sort of part of the genre, you know. Like, you know, I don't expect the Migos to come out and give like a statement on like what's going on. You know what I mean? And they've been in their lane. But the people who have been, you know, making money off of black empowerment and using, you know, the people who got paid off of the wave of like black superheroes and everything, all these people, I mean, those are the people that should be coming out and saying something. You know what I mean? Because otherwise, it's just aesthetic. You're just doing it to sell. You know what I mean?
That's actually Rochelle just said. I don't want to cut you off. She just said, I don't want them to be obligated because it feels forced if they don't really believe in the movement.
Like I really like to tell you the truth. Like I don't really care what like 6ix9ine has to say about the movement. Like I don't like, you know what I mean? Like and that's okay. And he probably knows that, and he's like, yo, that's not my lane. He's not even gonna pretend. And he's real in that sense, you know.
That's true.
When then the people who are like, you know, empowerment and wow, we're gonna do this, and then like when it's going down, they just like turn up on it.
Yeah.
You know, hear from them, you know, like you can't hear a peep. And they're like, oh, well, yeah, go back and refer to my earlier work. I'm like, nah, listen. You know, like this is what we have been moving towards. This is what, you know, my grandparents have been working towards. This whole thing within the streets, and now you see every skin tone shouting Black Lives Matter.
So cool.
That is exactly what like this thing has been about for the last like 60 years since the civil rights movement started. So, you know, to be quiet in a time like this, I know everyone wants to be tactical and everyone wants to, satisfy the board members and make sure that they reach their KPIs and everything. But like, this is like if you're talking about you're a general or a soldier or you're doing it, now's the time to say something.
Big facts. Nourish, what do you think?